In a village no bigger than a puddle on a rainy day, lived a little girl named Millie Thimble. She didn't have a crown or castle, but she had a heart full of wonder and a quilt stitched with love. Millie lived with Granny Dot in a crooked cottage on Buttonberry Lane. Their home was small, but it was full of laughter, stories, and the smell of cinnamon. Her clothes were all hand-me-downs, a coat too big, boots with holes, and mittens made from old socks. But Millie wore them proudly. Every patch held a memory. One frosty morning, Granny Dot looked at Millie with tearful eyes. "Millie girl," she said softly, "the world is waiting for you." Millie packed a satchel with a biscuit, 3 buttons, a sewing needle, and her precious patchwork quilt. She kissed Granny's cheek and stepped out into the snowy unknown. She wandered through snowy woods and sleepy towns. She sang for soup, swept porches, and stitched clothes in exchange for a bed. Some turned her away with cold stares, but others offered warm bread and kind smiles. Still, Millie never grew bitter. She stitched kindness into every step. One rainy day, she spotted a crooked sign swinging in the wind. It read, "Thread and Wonder, Tailor of Dreams." Inside was a magical mess of buttons, fabric, and glowing lamps. Millie's eyes lit up like fireflies. "You sew?" asked Madame Petal, the tall woman in a feathered hat. "I patch," said Millie bravely. "Then patch this," she replied, handing her a torn satchel. Millie worked until the lanterns burned low, threading with care and stitching with hope. Her fingers danced like they had stories to tell. "You may be small," said Madame Petal the next day, "but your talent is tall." And from that moment on, Millie became part of Thread and Wonder. She stitched coats with courage, scarves filled with warmth, and collars lined with kindness. Word spread. Millie stitched stories into clothes. At night, Millie stitched new squares into her quilt. Each one a memory, a moment, a piece of her journey. As the years passed, Millie grew. So did her skills. She sketched, stitched, and smiled with customers from near and far. One spring morning, Millie opened her own shop, the Patchwork Palace. It sparkled with colors, comfort, and dreams. Children came to hear her stories on soft rugs. Grown-ups left with coats that felt like hugs. Every garment had a secret stitched inside. Stars for hope, daisies for courage, keys for new beginnings. People didn't just wear her clothes. They felt them. On the back wall hung her patchwork quilt. No longer just a blanket, but a tapestry of her life. Every square told a story. Every stitch spoke her truth. Millie stood in the doorway of her shop, sunlight in her hair and her quilt wrapped like a royal cloak. She was a princess after all, stitched not from silk, but from love, grit, and dreams. The end. We hope you enjoyed this story of hope, hard work, and achievement.